Richardson, slam dunk champion, spent 13 seasons in the NBA, and the Big Three is back for season number 7. And he started off, he's a captain for Tri-State for the 2022 campaign. 2021, he had an MVP caliber season with the Big Three, averaged 16, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. I mean, he must be dunking on dudes in the Big Three. And Jason Richardson, who had to retire from the league due to knee injuries, and he was a high flyer, obviously. Again, 2-time slam dunk champion. That was the highlight of the Golden State Warriors in the 2000s outside of the We Believe team, was Jason Richardson winning the slam dunk competition. But he's still hooping. He's got a son who's hooping. So it's always fun to get Jay Rich on the airwaves. Here's the Big Threes coming to Oakland, California, baby, this weekend. Oakland, California. Let's go to Jason Richardson, former member of the Golden State Warriors, 13 years in the NBA, now playing for Tri-State and with the Big Three. Jay Rich, what's happening, man? It's always good to get you on these Bay Area airways, man. We miss you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
Anytime, man. You must be jacked up to play back at Oracle Arena for Tri-State. I know it's for the Big Three and 303, and you've been hooping in that league, no doubt about it, but to be playing at your former home where you played your first NBA games, it must be exciting for you.
Oh, it's definitely exciting. Anytime I come back to the Bay Area, it's great to see familiar faces, to see fans that remember what I did when I was with the Warriors. But to actually come back and play in the Oracle is going to bring back so many memories, seeing so many friends and family. I'm just excited about this weekend.
So it was 5 years to the day of the final game at Oracle. What's your personal favorite, moment in Oracle for you?
For me, my favorite moment is that first game of the playoffs against Dallas. It's been a 14-year absence. We've been to the playoffs, and I come in the arena, and it's 2 hours before the game, and the arena is almost filled. And so it's giving me goosebumps every time I think of that moment, the fans standing up, cheering, we coming in, and it was the loudest I heard that environment. It was just showing that all the love the Bay Area had for the Warriors, how great the fans were. That's definitely probably my favorite memory of Oracle.
And I think, man, that was one of my favorite series for you, Jay Rich, that playoff run, because, you were kind of reserved on the court. You would dunk on somebody's head. But, man, you showed so much emotion. Whenever you hit a three, whenever you come up with a steal or a great defensive play, you were so jacked up on your mind. It's like, is this guy think he's back in East Lansing, Michigan State? What's going on with Jay Rich, man? It was fun to watch you during that run because you were one of the Warriors who did deserve that moment. Because you mentioned that 14-year absence, not going to the playoffs. You come from Michigan State where you win a national championship. You're an All-American. And you come to the Warriors who could win 20 games. It was fun watching you show so much emotion, and it felt like that emotion that you had built in from all those years of missing the playoffs all of a sudden bursting out there at Oracle Arena against the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, it absolutely did. It was just, pent-up aggression for not making the playoffs, being there for 6 years, and the energy from the fans. It was just electric. I mean, I just felt it from that moment we got in the arena, and every time we made a shot, every time we made a play, it just gave me a jolt of energy, and it was just an amazing experience that I'll never forget. The fans literally deserved everything that happened with the Warriors, winning championships in there because they've been so loyal to the Warriors. It's just an amazing feeling.
I got to ask you about the Big Three. What made you sign up to play for the Big Three? Because I know you left the league after 13 years due to knee injuries, and the Big Three's now been around for 7 years now. It was incredible what Ice Cube has put together with this league, and it is some fun basketball, 3-on-3. Who talked you into playing for the Big Three? Was it something that you always had on your mind once you saw the league kind of birthed here in this inaugural season 7 years ago?
No, I really was done with basketball, and I kind of watched a couple of games, and then all of a sudden I was playing pickup at the YMCA, playing in, just high school gyms, and I really miss playing basketball. But I think the biggest thing that, the majority of guys miss is the camaraderie you have amongst guys. Going back and seeing some of your former teammates, some of your former colleagues you competed against, I think that's what guys miss the most when they quit, professional sports. So I think we get the best of both worlds. We actually complete and still play the game we love, but at the same time, we're still hanging out in the hotel lobby or we go to dinner with each other. I think that's the part of guys miss once they retire from basketball.
Who's talking the most smack in this league right now?
Oh, man, I think Mike Taylor is the biggest trash talker.
Not Dr. J?
Now, Doc, Doc is the coolest person I know, man. He just had that aura about him, and everything you see about Doc when he played, and you see the videos of him with the fur coat. Doc is just like that. He's
Really?
just a great coach, a great person, really cool, and he's really good with the fans. So, Doc has been awesome.
I'm surprised you didn't say Gary Payton, who's been known to talk or two a little bit.
Just a little.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, he do the trash talking on the coaching side, but it's a little different when you're on the court, and you still hear Gary still talking, man, and that's just who he is because he's such an ultimate competitor. But he's definitely one. He's definitely trash talk still too.
So you're playing for Dr. J with the Tri-State team, and obviously you've been in this league, and you put up MVP-like numbers in 2022, no doubt about that. What is it going to take for you guys to get over the hump in the Big Three to win this championship? I don't know, the championship last year was in London, which is crazy. The O2 Arena, Nick Young, a championship head coach. We got to get Dr. J another title, Jay Rich. What's going on with
I don't know how we let that happen. You know what? The league is getting definitely tougher every year. This year we're bringing in Jeff T, Greg Monroe, Paul Millsap. So it's definitely getting tougher to compete in this league every year. But, I think we revamped the team. We got some good players on my team. Want to go out with a bang, try to get Doc a championship because the trophy is named after him.
Yep.
So we want to win it one time for him before, we get too old and I can't play anymore. So looking forward to having a great season, try to win a championship.
Have you been paying attention to the Warriors in the last couple of years?
Always paying attention to the Warriors, being a former Warrior and of course, Draymond being like my little brother. So you just always pay attention to what's going on with those guys, pulling for them, hoping, they can win every year. But, you get older and things change. Teams are getting better. The West has always been tough, but now you got, teams like Minnesota is playing well. Sacramento got a whole bunch of young guys that's playing well. Oklahoma City. So it becomes a tougher league, especially as you get older, to win the championship when you've been there before.
Are you and Draymond, you sound like you guys are close. I mean, he just put out a podcast this week about his biggest regret when it comes to the Jordan Poole situation and some of his actions and whatnot. Have you guys ever talked about that?
We never talked about that situation. I know that was a tough time for him, and he was going through some personal issues with that. But, being from Saginaw, both going to Michigan State, we're definitely close in that aspect. But I think that was just one of the worst parts in his career that he wished he could take back. And I think what he said on the podcast is very genuine with when he came out and the regrets he had about that situation.
Interesting stuff there. Jason Richardson here on the Morning Roast, former member of the Golden State Warriors, 13 years in the league, now playing for Tri-State with the Big Three as it comes to Oakland, California this weekend. I got to ask you, Jay Rich, I don't know if, you just told us why you started playing. You were picking up playing pickup at the YMCA, and so you had that itch again. I'm looking at your son here. I know he committed to Michigan State. He's following in your footsteps. Have you still? I know with those one-on-one games, father-son games, you got to make sure, son, you keep him in check. Has Jace gotten the better of you yet in the one-on-one game, Jay Rich?
Yeah, he has gotten the better of me. That's my oldest. He's very skilled. It's funny because people expect to see me when they see him, but he's very skilled, can shoot the ball. He's athletic, but not quite as athletic as I was before. But he's really good, and it's hard to guard him. And he's left-handed, so I have a hard time guarding him. I think the only chance I have now winning is if I take him to the post. But he's getting a little stronger. Coach Izzo got him on weights now. So it's getting real tough to score on him now.
As someone who played in the league, you've got probably a different perspective than a lot of people that are out there, and you got kids that are playing ball and whatnot. What would your message be if somebody came to you and they said, hey, I got an 11, 12, 13-year-old boy or girl, and I'm trying to navigate travel sports or AAU circuit nowadays? Like, what would your advice be to them now that you've seen it on both ends as a player and now as a father?
How much time do we allotted for this? Because it's going to be pretty long. I'm just playing,
the floor is yours. Yeah, no doubt.
This is something I'm passionate about. I coach a lot, right? And so
yeah.
I want your opinion.
Well, my opinion on this is first for youth sports. I think we lose a lot of what youth sports are. And I think as adults, I think we're so pressure on our kids want to be pros or they want to be a college athlete that we forget youth sports is about camaraderie, teamwork, responsibilities, sacrifice. And so what I tell parents now is, with youth sports becoming individualized as far as they just play one sport, specialize in them. let these kids enjoy it. Let them play multiple sports. Don't get caught up in travel ball and only playing one sport. Let them play multiple sports and enjoy it. Because at a point, it does become a job once the kids, if they're good enough to get to that 1% that go to college and play the sport. So I see parents all the time like, my kid only played basketball, he's been playing. No, let them play multiple sports. I played hockey growing up. I played football. I ran track. I played baseball. I didn't specialize in basketball until I was 11th grade when I knew I was going to college for basketball. I didn't get a personal trainer until I was third year in the NBA.
Wow.
So I grew up enjoying the sport, and by me enjoying the sport and having love for it, it never felt like a job. But if you're constantly pushing that kid, constantly have that kid in training, constantly only playing one sport, by the time they do get to high school, they feel like it's a job and they fall out of love with it. So just let them enjoy it. It becomes a point where you understand where they need more, and they can't specialize and just be making that one sport. But at the beginning, just let them be kids.
That's a great answer, Jay Rich. That's well said. And it got me thinking about the kids and watching youth sports. How much does the fundamentals get lost in all this? Because they want their kid to go to the next level. They want them to be the 1% and 1%ers. Because it feels like the European players that are coming into the NBA, fundamentally, they're so much more advanced than the American-born players right now, Jay Rich.
And you are absolutely right. The Europeans are becoming more dominant in the league because they practice more than they play. And I think Coach Gino Amarone for UConn had mentioned that, where in European, the players practice 6 times a week, play one game, where in America, we play 6 times a week and practice once. So their fundamentals are more solid because they work on simplifying the game, team aspect of the game. And they come over, they're better, they're bigger, and they're understanding of the game. I think we play so many games that our kids are losing, basketball IQ, which is the smartness of the game, just going out there and just playing. I think we don't give these kids the opportunity to just go to the park or go into a gym and play pickup. Everything has to be a drill. Everything has to be, organized. You lose a lot of creativity by doing stuff like that. And so I think we need to get back to our fundamentals and helping these kids grow the game instead of, trying to monetize it. And I think once we did that with the NIL, with kids making money with social media, we started losing some of those fundamentals that we had seen from the past.
Yeah, man, you are preaching to the choir right here. I'm nodding my head the whole way. Who's your favorite player in the league right now, in the NBA?
Oh, man, my favorite player, I'm an Anthony Edwards fan right now.
Ooh.
I really like the way he plays on both ends of the floor. Being able to create scoring opportunities with, 4 or 5 dribbles, not dribbling the ball 100 times, passing the teammates. And he just has so much energy. You can just see when he plays basketball, it's so much joy and love and passion. And you don't see that much from many players nowadays. So I just love watching his energy. I can't wait to see what his future holds because he has a bright future ahead of him.
No, Don, how about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown last night, huh? 35-5, both of them, at least 30. Jaylen Brown was dynamic, 38-8. Jason Tatum had his 35-5. That duo, you talk about playing hard at both. And they're understated. A lot of people don't talk about them. But, boy, they play hard. To your point, Jay Rich, they play hard like Anthony Edwards on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, and I think they're figuring it out a way. I think at times at the beginning of the season, they're kind of battling against each other, but I think they realize the common goal is to win a championship. And I think with Jason Tatum being aggressive and now he's passing the ball the way he's passing and not forcing a lot of shots, it's giving the team and making the team more dangerous because you got guys like Drew Holiday out there defending and hitting shots. Derek White is out there hitting defending shots. And it opens up the whole floor. Al Horford, you got so many guys now that become weapons when you're not just sitting there focused on one guy. And you can flip that on the other side. That's why, Boston's so good defensively is because they, Luka's kind of getting into one-on-one action. The guys are just shrinking the floor on them. So I think if you find a way to, create opportunities for yourself, but you could pass the ball and create a team opportunity for your teammate, it just makes you that more dangerously.
All right. Now I'm going to ask you the hardest question you've ever been asked. Give me your starting 5 all-time Michigan State basketball team.
Ooh.
You're going to piss somebody off. Mo P's not going to be happy.
No, it's going to be a lot of people not happy.
Mateen, please, you better hear.
Give it to me. Who's on it? Let's hear it. Starting 5.
I'll start with Magic. Oh, man, it's going to be hard because I'm going to put Draymond at the 5. We're going to play small ball. Put Draymond at the 5.
No Jared Jackson Jr., you already pissed him off in Memphis.
But Jared Jackson could play the stretch 4.
All right,
so him and Draymond play 4 or 5.
There you go, smart.
So that's my 3 right there.
Don't panic.
I'm putting Steve Smith at the 3.
Put yourself at the 2, Jay Rich. Come on.
Myself there because, I mean, are we talking about college career or are we talking about pro career?
It's college career. Whatever you want. Yeah, all time Michigan State lined up.
Whatever's going to get more guys frustrated with you.
Yeah, I won't put myself at the 2, man. If you're talking about general whole career, I'll put myself at 2.
There you go. Yeah, take that, Charlie Bell. Take that, Mo Pete. Take that, Mo Pete. Come on. That's cool.
And you know what? I missed out on Zach Randolph. So, man, you got me in trouble.
Yeah, you got. And of course, the 79 National Championship team, too. There's a lot of ballers on that team. So you pissed off everybody at Michigan State. But I think it's understandable. Hey, Jay Rich, have fun this Saturday at Oracle Arena when you guys take on the Ball Hogs. Can't wait to watch you out there play for the Big 3. I know you're going to get a loud standing ovation out there at Oracle Arena. Good to still see you balling. We're pulling for your son as well, who's going to follow in your footsteps in East Lansing out there in Michigan State. Thanks for the time, Jay Rich. Really cool stuff, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Anytime. Jason Richardson, man. The stuff he said about you.